Welcome to Storytime with CandyGram. Today we're reading a little-known hero story, William Dummy Hoy, written by Kaushay and Spencer Ford and illustrated by Taylor Allen. Long time ago, in a small town, Ohio, a bunch of kids were playing baseball in a field. While baseball was a pretty new sport, it was already very popular in this little town. Many of the players were shouting and yelling, but one boy, William Hoy, would never turn his head when his name was called. He had been deaf since he was 3 years old, which meant he couldn't hear a sound. William grew up in a family and community who could hear. Back in the 1870s, people were often confused and didn't know how to treat William because he was deaf, which made things difficult when he couldn't communicate. People called William Dummy, which meant he couldn't talk. Many people also thought this meant he wasn't smart. But William Hoy was very smart. When his parents sent him to a boarding school for deaf children, he got the best grades in his class. His whole life, he asked people to call him Dummy because he knew he was smart and was proud to be deaf. Dummy knew a lot of people wouldn't take him seriously or give him a chance because he was deaf, so he worked hard to be the best he could at everything he tried. He found a job mending shoes and became the best cobbler around. But his true passion was baseball. He would play and practice as much as he could, even when his father disapproved. Dummy was so good at baseball, scouts who saw him play wanted to put him on a professional team. But when they realized he was deaf, they didn't want to give him a chance. Dummy stood up for himself. When he met with the team managers, he would read their lips while they talked and write his response on paper for them to read. Dummy knew he could change their minds. Let me play. One of the managers saw Dummy play. They knew he belonged in the big leagues. After that, a lot of managers tried to get him to switch to their team, but they tried to pay him as little as possible. Dummy would write to them, "I might be deaf, but I know how much I should be paid, and I won't take any less." He didn't let people push him around just because he was deaf or because he was new to professional baseball. When Dummy did join a team, he immediately became one of the best players in the outfield, but he had a problem batting. When he was batting, he would have to turn his head all the way around to see if the umpire was saying ball or strike. This took long enough that some pitchers would sneakily throw the next ball while he was still looking at the umpire. What do you think about that? One story says that Dummy and his manager found a new way to solve this. A teammate would stand at third base where Dummy could see and use sign language to signal what the call was. This way Dummy only had to move his eyes a bit and was always ready to hit again. He was already an amazing outfielder, but this helped him bat better too. Dummy refused to be dishonest or cheat. One game, when he was playing center field, a batter hit the ball toward him, and it bounced off the ground before Dummy could catch it. The umpire didn't see the ball bounce and said the batter was out, but Dummy made sure to correct the mistake, even though it meant his team lost the game. What do you think of Dummy's decision there? Dummy worked so hard and played so well that some people considered him one of the best baseball players ever. He had many achievements in baseball, like leading his league in stolen bases and setting a record by throwing the ball from center field to get a runner out 3 times in one game. He played in almost every major league that existed then. Everyone wanted Dummy to play for them. Dummy Hoy showed the world that just because someone is deaf or has any disability, it doesn't mean they can't do amazing things. Baseball players respected him so much that when Dummy was 99 years old, one of his old teams invited him to throw the first pitch of a World Series game. Dummy spent his life proving that he could use his skills, intelligence, and hard work to become one of the best baseball players. I love this story about William Dummy Hoyle. And I know that we can be like him and make good choices. Do your best and be your best.